Now, there's a saying that says, you are what you eat. We've all been told by a parent or someone else in our life that we should try and eat a healthy diet. But what is a healthy diet? Most people know that a healthy diet consists of keeping calories low, but something that is not usually considered is macronutrients. Macronutrients are very important in constructing a good diet program. Hello, my name is Caleb Cameron. I have had type 1 diabetes for 6 years, so I have been building my diet to find what the best fit for me is. And that means playing with the amounts of these macronutrients that I consume on a day-to-day basis. So first, I'll start by talking about carbohydrates, which are the main energy source that we use throughout our day. Next, I will be talking about fats, also known as lipids, which help in our hormone production and regulation. Lastly, I will be talking about proteins and how they are the building blocks that allows us to function in our day-to-day lives. So, let's talk about carbohydrates. According to Cleveland Clinic, carbohydrates are the main source of energy that we use throughout our day. How we use the carbs is we eat them, they turn into glucose, which is then put into our bloodstream. The pancreas, an organ behind the stomach, puts out a hormone called insulin, which then lowers the blood sugar. Any excess sugar in the blood is then used as energy, and if that energy is not used, then it will be stored as fat. Now there's two main types of carbohydrates: simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. The difference between simple and complex carbohydrates is how fast the sugar or glucose hits the bloodstream. With simple carbohydrates like cereal, candy, fruit, these carbohydrates hit the bloodstream very fast and raise the blood sugar extremely quickly. Versus complex carbs, which is something more like this pasta, bread, these carbs will not hit the bloodstream as fast as those simple carbohydrates, thus take longer to rise the blood sugar. So next, I will be talking about dietary fats. Now, there's a common misconception about fats in that they are the reason that us Americans are so obese. Well, that's not directly the truth, and there are some good things that come from consuming fats. According to Houston Methodist, there are 3 types of fats. Now here's where we determine which fats are good and which fats are bad. There's saturated fats, which are in meat, cheese, and dairy products, like this cheese I have here. These fats aren't necessarily bad for you, but if you consume them too much, they can become bad. There's also unsaturated fats. These fats are also known as good fats. These fats are in things such as some cooking oils and avocados. These fats can be consumed and help the body maintain hormone balance. Now there's also trans fat, which the main thing to know about trans fat is that's the bad fat. That's the fat that we want to limit if we want to get the best diet plan possible. Some benefits of healthy fats include lower blood pressure and blood sugar, lower bad cholesterol, and better mood. Now, let's focus on protein. According to medlineplus.gov, protein is the main building block that helps us function in our day-to-day lives. So when we go about our lives in the day, our muscles and organs have to work to keep us functioning the way we do, so that those actions put strain on the muscles, which then micro break, which we need protein to repair those and make new cells. There are Protein can be found in many foods, including yogurt, through supplementation, and meats, and eggs are some of the best sources of protein that can be consumed. Without protein, you'll start to feel very tired and you'll feel very sore. And you'll start to become skinnier and lose muscle mass, as well as feel drowsy with no energy. First, we talked about carbohydrates and the differences there are and how those differences affect the body. Next, we talked about fat and said that it's not always as bad as it is consumed to as it is perceived to be. And lastly, we talked about proteins and why they are important so we can function the best we can. The fact of the matter is that all three of these, carbs, fats, and proteins, can be used in a successful diet plan. Now, there's another saying, everything in moderation. That saying is very true with dieting. You can eat as many carbs as you want and it can be bad for you. If you eat too many, it's bad for you. If you eat too many fats, it's bad for you. If you even eat too many proteins, it's bad for you. So to find your ideal ratio, that's just by trial and error. You'll find that by yourself. Thank you for listening. I hope you learned something.